Hello, everyone. My name is Michelle Hardy, and I am the AMP Global Director of Business Development. Today, we're going to be reviewing the EchoMaster Telematics platform, and I look forward to speaking to you all individually in our breakout sessions or Q&A stay after. All right, everyone. So we're going to log into the portal from our web user interface using an email and password. This is going to be our demo account. So this will show how to log in to the mapping solution of where our portal will land once you log in. On the left-hand side, you will see all the drivers and vehicles that we have currently in our demo portal. And then on the map, you will see currently which vehicles are turned on, which ones are parked. And then over here, you'll see if a vehicle is not registered or been live or turned on in a while, it will be grayed out. So that way it makes it really easy to look at your portal and know exactly what's going on the fleet. We're going to pull up over here a specific vehicle. So we're going to look at Nathan Larson's vehicle here and see exactly what he's been doing today. So right now, if I look at Nathan's vehicle, it tells me the information, the last time he did a trip, where it was, and the location of it at the last location. I'm going to zoom out a little bit. Also, it shows here recent trips. So the most recent trip that he took was on February 28th, start time, the distance, and then any alerts. So these are going to be event alerts or notifications of a violation of a alert that you have set up in your portal, whether that's a speeding alert, a harsh driving alert event, then it will show up here. As you can see on the one right below it, they have 16 alerts. So we're going to click on that one because it's actually going to show you what I mean by alerts. And a lot of different users use the notifications to send live, immediate notification via SMS or via email. Or you can just look at it in the portal and look at the reports to see what has happened and what was triggering those events. So there's a couple of ways to make sure that you're getting that information. And over here on the map, I'm going to change it to satellite view. And then down here, you can also add in the different view, the routes. So there's these little dots here, which is every time that the device pinged the network, and all that information is then going to be showing up here. So you can click directly on one of these dots and see what was detected. So here we have a harsh acceleration detected. Here's the location. I can zoom in more if I want to get a little more granular and look exactly at that location, what was going on. What was this? It looks like he was on the highway here, and it says US 101. The other nice thing is if you wanted to see this information with a Google drop, you can drop in on this location, and it's going to bring up the live street view to see where they were. So as you can see here, he's just on a highway. So what was he doing at that exact point? You can pull up again, say, okay, harsh acceleration detected. So he was actually accelerating. And if you back up a little bit more, you're going to see this here. It says threshold speed violation. So in our portal, we have 78 miles set up as the fastest that anyone should be going within the portal. And this means that at 81, it triggered it. And this was the threshold speed violation at 12:29 p.m. and at the location. Now, if you look at the start and the end of the trip, you're going to see that you can back out and see it all in one view really quickly. Or you can go over here and look at all these different trips, which makes it a little bit easier over here to go through them. And if you keep scrolling through, you can go back in the history and see what date you're looking for, or a specific time that you're looking for, or maybe you're just looking for alerts. So you want to see the highest alerts. And so far, the highest one I see here is 22. Now I want to go into the trip information of this one. So I'm going to click on trip information instead of just looking at the map. I want to see the details on this. So I'm going to click on the trip, the start time, finish time, the location of where it started, where he finished this trip. The total distance was 191.8 miles. The odometer start, the odometer end, the usage time. So it took 3 hours and 17 minutes. He didn't idle. And then if we were getting any of the other information from this vehicle, so we would be getting this at the fuel level, engine temperature. We're not getting this from his vehicle. It's a 2006. So unfortunately, it's a little too old to give us that ECM data, but we can also look at the other information that we are capturing. The other nice thing about this is that you can quickly look at that from an activity standpoint, meaning what activities took place during this trip. And when you're looking at the activities, this is going to be a little bit easier to look at this trip. And you can say, okay, so here's the harsh turn, here's the speeding violations, and then all through here, you'll see this threshold again, speed violation on that trip. So he went over our posted 78 speed limit threshold we have set in our portal, tells you where it was at, has the map view and street view. Now, the other thing that we do offer is a maintenance portal. Some of our vehicles are set up on a maintenance, meaning every so many miles or every so many engine hours, it should be going in for a oil change, tire rotation, different things. I don't believe this vehicle is, but we do have that as an option if there is a maintenance solution that you're looking for. The other thing that I wanted to briefly go over was on our main homepage here. I'm just going to click this little circle. You can also go from here and see any type of information that you want to change. So you have users. Users are going to be those that have access to the portal. You can have as many as you would like. You can also change your vehicle information as needed. So if there's information that you need to gather about your vehicle, maybe we're capturing the VIN, you can see that information here. You can also click into that vehicle and see any details. You can upload an image. You can identify it by a name, a person. You can put in different types. So we have tractor, trailer, vehicle in ours. You can also see if you had a vehicle identification number that you had assigned to this vehicle. There's a lot of information that we can get from the actual engine details, meaning odometer, if it's going to be from the device. So this is actually coming from the engine. This is a newer 2015 model, so of course we're going to be able to get that. If we were doing engine hours, that would be here, idle time from the device. And then here's where we were talking about the speed limit. So right here is the real-time threshold buffer that I've set up at 78 miles per hour. And then anything over 10 miles over the speed posted speed limit. Remember that. And then idle time is set to 3 minutes. Battery warning, we have an alert set to 11 volts. And then fuel level, this is 15%. So anyone that has a fuel level of 15% or less, we're going to get a notification or an event triggered within our portal. And then right here is the device ID that is associated with this particular vehicle. Once again, as you look over here, this is all going to be vehicle information. So these are the settings. This is going to be the past health events. So anytime the fuel level was below 15%, it actually captured that information here, and now we can see that. These would be diagnostic trouble codes. We don't have any found, so that means this vehicle hasn't tripped any yet. And then over here, this is once again the details. So I'm going to look here at this vehicle and see that Mel did have a trip, and the most recent one was on 3/2, and he's been driving since 3:09 p.m. So that means he is driving currently. So this is a good example of somebody who's driving right now. So I'm watching him drive down, looks like he's heading to Fort Worth. So I'm going to push this into satellite view really quick. And then I can also send this route really quickly. So I'm going to send this over to a specific address, or I want to send it to, I'm going to look up an address in San Antonio, and radius of 50 miles. And it says I don't have anyone right now, so he must be a little bit further out than 50 miles, but that's okay. I could always do that and see who is the closest to him right now. The other nice thing about this is this portal here has anything that you need to know on recent trips. So if you're looking at this vehicle and you're like, wow, he's been making that trip a lot recently, I want to see all of the trips that he's made. You can look here and see vehicle information and show that, or you can just click back in and click right back to the vehicle trip. So it's very intuitive that you can just flip back and forth. The other nice thing about our reports are that you can run these and you can also schedule them. So ad hoc reports are available where you can go in and download that information immediately for any certain report you're needing, or you can go in here and schedule it, and you can have that go to a certain person, or you can have it go daily, weekly, monthly, and then also put in the email addresses of where you would like that to go. And then I can schedule that really quickly and I can make it an active report. The other nice thing is I can just turn it off if I'm done with that report and I don't need that scheduled report anymore. You can just turn it off and now it's not going to run anymore. Over here, you'll see the status, vehicle health, geofences. We do have unlimited geofences, the usage, We have the state mileage, which some of you may be used to having to run based on location of where that state was for IFTA. Inactive vehicles. So this is going to show you the number of vehicles that are inactive and where are they inactive at, how long have they been inactive. Odometer, run an odometer report. And then these are going to be your scheduled reports. We don't really have any in here yet today, but I can schedule one and have it run daily, weekly, or monthly, as I mentioned. Now, we did talk briefly about the different users that you can set up different security profiles for individuals. So I'm going to go in here and look at this individual, and I can see that John has a user profile. He is currently set up under not a driver, and he has over privileges. So he's not an admin, but he does have the exact same access, other than he's not able to edit the admin, which is the owner of the profile. We could also change him over to not a manager and really change his features that he's available to see, or you can make it very specific and only allow him to see certain features or certain vehicles. So you can get very granular on the user's permission and access that you would like them to have. Really quickly, we have our home screen. This will go always back to the main screen. Don't forget, you can click on any of these icons. So currently we see Mel is driving. Last location is where we pinged him at. I'm going to click on that. It's going to open Google Maps right from our portal, which is really nice. Or you can click on over here underneath any of the vehicles, or you can do a quick search. So if you wanted to search for a vehicle, I just typed in my name and I can pull that up and I can see what I have attached to my vehicle, which I have a dash cam and a fleet tracker. Over here, you'll see the last time the vehicle was used, any of the alerts and information, and the VIN number and the vehicle identification information, which is going to be the year, make, and model of the vehicle. And any type of vehicle information that will be captured will show up here under the VIN, odometer, and engine hours. So we're going to stop there and get ready for questions and look forward to talking to each of you.